So why do things like a Seder? Why do something that is inconvenient, long, and hard? And why focus in on a particularly Jewish story and Jewish experience and Jewish rituals and place yourself in that narrative when there's a larger world out there that we're supposed to care about? And many of the great issues that we face today are ones that affect all or virtually all of humanity, right? Issues of climate, issues of COVID, issues of alienation, issues of aggression. These things they're global issues, not something particular to one small people. So why focus on the story of one small people? Part of the lesson, and I picked up a bit of this from Rabbi Daniel Hartman at the Hartman Institute in Jerusalem. He pointed out that when Volodymyr Zelensky, when the president of Ukraine, went virtually from parliament to parliament, Congress to Congress throughout the world and addressed them asking for help for his people in their hour of need, he didn't just say, you should support us because it's the right thing to do. Your morals are that you should help people in need, and we're in need, and we're all in this together. So he didn't just say that. Though he said that too, even though it might have been true, was true, is true. He was very specific when he spoke to the Houses of Parliament in London. He cited the examples of Chamberlain and the example of Churchill, the latter standing up to Nazi aggression. When he spoke to the German Parliament, he evoked issues of never again and their commitment to always be on the right side of history. And when he spoke to the Israeli Knesset, he evoked issues of the Holocaust and Jewish suffering in the Holocaust. And when he spoke to the American Congress, he invoked the Founding Fathers. When he spoke to the Canadian Parliament, he said, imagine this happening to Toronto being bombed. It was always very specific. And he pulled upon the story of each nation, how each nation saw itself, or the master story of how they see themselves, and said, this is how you see yourself. Look at your story, and then think of us. Look at how you experience the world and how you want to experience the world, and then think of us and see the connection, and then act. In other words, he recognized that we see the universal through the particular. We see the world through the lens of course, our own eyes. So we first have to see our own eyes and understand our own story and internalize it and feel it before we'll act and do the right thing for others. Which is why he didn't just go say, do the right thing because it's the right thing. He said, think about your own story and then do the right thing. This is part of why we have a Seder. This is part of why all year round, we immerse ourselves in the Jewish story. It's not just a parochial interest. It's not just about us. But through us, we can help the world. And by understanding who we are and our own suffering and the fact that we didn't like unjust oppression and wish to go free, that we are obligated to help others with that, this is part of it. This is why we go through the inconvenience. This is why it's worthwhile on Passover and year-round to identify deeply with this story. It's not just about us, but it's about everyone. And when we try to generalize, it's too hard to lose the thread of the narrative. We find the universal in the particular. So, come Passover, we are supposed to help the world, including those in Ukraine. But we understand it through the unique particular experience of our people. And by knowing that well, we can move in the world both more Jewishly and in a way that helps all humanity. Chag Sameach. Shabbat Shalom.